Well, hello again, it's me, and this is Random Breakout Crazy Donut Ball Season. Well, I guess we'll be starting now. And let's see, it's you again. Me? The power is strong fist that can destroy any obstacle. Alright, oh, who are you? You want to join the circus? Sure, I might as well try. I'm a whole clown on my own, anyways. Destroy obstacles, create giant rainbow bear jellies with 80% chance. Well, alright, I guess. That seems halfway decent, so we should have to focus on a more destruction bit. Ooh. Ooh. This is. I've been burned once by this. I will not be singed a second time, alright? So, let's take lobster. Call me a gambler, but my brain works in mysterious ways, and don't ask. So 80% chance. So I guess destruction based build this run should be good. Or treasures with lobster are halfway decent too. Ooh, that's a lot. Wow. And then maybe if we could get above for say rainbow bear jelly points, we will be set, you know. Of course, and destruction points too. Maybe so fireworks could be one way of doing that, since they come pretty regularly. Let's see. Whoop. Come on. There we go. All in all, it's a pretty decent buff, all things considered. I'm just wondering about the fact that whether their giant affects their points. So like, do I get extra points from these rainbow bear jellies that are giant, or are they just like, well, normal rainbow bear jellies, just bigger in size, you know? I mean, size matters until it doesn't. I mean, life lesson of the year, I guess. It's a life lesson for Christmas. Although by the time this video is out, it'll probably just be around like, what, Chinese now, February already? I don't know, man. I ain't got much hopes in my upload schedule. You know the way I word that, it's like saying I'm not the one who's in charge of my upload schedule, or whatever, you know. I don't know what's going on in my brain half the time. Gotta excuse me for a bit. I don't know whether I actually sound a bit off, but to me myself right now my voice sounds a bit different from usual. Probably because like, I don't know why. Maybe because I ate that mutton curry this morning, but like my throat has not been in the greatest of shapes today. Definitely interesting. Been coughing a bit. I'm not actually sick and I don't feel like it. Or at least sicker than I usually am, I do suppose, but it's all a matter of perspective. 1, 2. There we go. Bit of a shame I wasn't able to do that last minute skill activation. Or, well, more aptly put, last second skill activation. Since it definitely would help me gain some more distance, but that's alright too. It's all's well and well in the spring flower garden of our youth, our cherished and lost youth. Speaking of youth, I got this mildly funny comment from this person on a video recently, and they talked about how I've ascended morality, which was definitely interesting. I'm pretty sure what they meant to write was mortality, since I talk about ascending my mortal form so much, but you know, I'm just a normal human like you and me and everybody else in the world. And now will be a good time to put a screen effect of maybe like the Illuminati on screen, but like, dude, I cannot be bothered. Like, I do edit my videos, but like past like the bare minimum of making sure the screen just doesn't end up skewed in like a 90 degrees horizontal angle or something. Vertical? I think vertical. Oh jeez. Now I'm really speaking like an alien, which is I'm definitely not. I will not entertain any conspiracy theories about my species, alright? We're all human here. Well, unless you are, that's fine too, I guess. I mean, humans themselves don't act like they are half the time either, so who am I to judge? Yeah. Temple of the Glorious Sun. I think I have to take that down. I will be fraternizing with the heathens in the sunlight. Rose garlands, you see. Sure, some heretical behavior of me to forgo this good graciousness of the sun god, but I'm sure Apollo will be fine. He's too busy being gay with whatever lover he has now, alright? So it's free world for mortal and deity alike out there. Other than that, I've been looking for jobs online recently. Not recently, I've always been looking for them. What am I talking about? No, it's more like I went a little bit insane. I wouldn't say insane, but also, what is that amount of rainbow bear jelly? That's just not. Then again, considering it's 80% and there's so many of them, so many obstacles being destroyed, maybe there should be more. I don't know. 1, 2. Alright. Okay, anyway, since you're so low on HP, I think we'll stop off here. After we're done with the bonus time. Like I was saying just now, I've been interested in like getting money. As always. I did not have to explain that. I was just thinking about it. And then you gotta realize, man, I wanna try out a job where I just act as like a nameless extra in the background. You know, background extra, like number 27. You only see them once, and that's in like a flashback of the protagonist's story when they are in front of an auditorium explaining their newest genius invention to a bunch of rioting, disbelieving scientists. And I'm not even a scientist. I'm like, what? The waiter that goes in to give like stuff to the scientists in the conference. I mean, don't ask me, don't quote me on my real life accuracy. I'm not too well versed in scientific circles, if you would believe that. As a cookie run YouTuber, we all know everybody here is absolutely distinguished in their respective fields. You know, you've got all the doctors with the PhDs. Yeah, I feel like that would be nice though, being extra number 57. Well, other than that, I've also been looking to volunteer recently, but like the problem is half the time I'm giving away like, I don't know, man. Like, I've never volunteered before, and not like I'm saying that in the sense that like I've never went outside and volunteered on my own before, like, you know. So it's a bit awkward, and I don't really know what to do and whether I'm doing correct, because I'm supposed to be helping people. I don't want to be a hindrance, so who knows, man. 1, 2. There we go. Ooh, 500 million. Actually, nominally speaking, not too bad. Maybe. Who are you? We need all common. I'm alright, I guess. Yeah, Mr. Gingerbrave. I hate to be a downer of the mood, but you know, it isn't exactly needed here. Your assistance, that is. Look at the fact that I'm so used to this song that if I tried to, I could probably hum something vaguely representative of like Popping Candy's theme song. So there's that, I guess. I actually wonder how many hours I actually have into this game. I mean, at least a few hundred, probably. But you gotta imagine, man, where my life would be if I didn't spend it all on Cookie Game. But well, there are less worthy causes in life to be dedicated to, so I'm fine with that, honestly. Tropical soda phones. You went into top secret research lab last time, so okay, taking a stand here, and I'll be going in. Fraternize with the workers, you know, fitting in with the common people as always. You say. Not only must we interact with those scientists in their cold ivory towers, once in a while, we must take a look the foundation that lays the basework of our running, moving society. The workers in the workshop. From the down low. Saying that like I'm not one of them. Shit. Worker on worker violence. Class division, baby. And then the 50% fighting against the 30%, I guess. But I mean, it's pretty well done tactic. You know, you're doing something bad, but you don't want people to notice it, so you divert their attention. It's an ambush. Yeah, not exactly. But, you know, done some very sad introspection to myself, and I've discovered that with the way and method I have of wording things, 90% of people just now did not understand what I was talking about. Which, honest to God, yes, because I don't know either. And the last 10% of you punks, just a good or bad thing, you know? A curse or a blessing, a boon or a malignment. It's all a side of the same very twisted, fecked up coin. Ain't it, DJ? Yeah. I'm still not used, you know, to playing his controls like this somehow, even though it's been like 2 years. I wouldn't say it's not exactly that I'm not used, but like, more like this conscious realization that I used to do things slightly bit differently. Something like that. This sort of weird incongruity, if I had to say it. So, cause when I used to like start out playing this game, like surprisingly enough, DJ was one of my higher level cookies, I think. So I had to use him and play him all the time to even get like the story missions done. So I ended up being pretty well acquainted. At some point, I got like, I think I saw a video of this YouTuber dude who had the buttons in like the opposite way to how people usually have them, and then I was like, well, I mean, why not switch things up a bit, you know? Give myself a little bit of fun. And so I did that. And sure, maybe it was a bit confusing for a while, but after a while, you know, you just got used to it. And sure, once in a while, like, my brain just, you know, makes a little gap and I forget what I'm doing and revert back, but like, jump and slide buttons switch from like the normal person's original controls. I mean it's different, you know, probably for like left-handed people or something like that, but why would being left-handed make you play? And you know what, that's not a question I think I can answer. Oh yeah. Lively millennial force. Whole bunch of force of millennials. Very woke, you see. The woke is in the trees. The liberals have taken over the grass, and it is scented with that saturating sweet scent of a socialism. It's a very inside joke, if you will. My lords, am I bad with that? Chip. Americans, man. Why you gotta be everywhere like that, huh? You know, until today, sometimes I still see the word Singapore on something, and I get like, well, they mention my country, cause it's rare. And I get that I complain about my government a lot, you know, as seen by a very pertinent commenter saying once, but I mean, I don't actually like, I'm not exactly anti-government. I'm more anti like doing bad things and then saying it's for the sake of like governance, you know, that kind of thing. I'm still not over the fucking, what was it again? The election earlier this year for president. Like, my lord, we had a fucking knockoff Donald Trump here. Truly, 26th place is alright. Now let's find a destruction cookie. You 6% chance. Well, I mean, it's a destruction treasure, and I mean, this this buff itself is pretty decent, so princess, my lady, let's go on this fun adventure. Speaking of milady, it reminds me of those random like kind of incel vibe dudes who run around and talk about like being all gentlemanly and what. And you know, it's a bit like if someone needs help, just give it to them, you know, like maybe don't go around in your daily life always thinking of reciprocation for every single like vaguely considerate act you do, you know, like I think it's okay to expect a thank you, but don't expect like a lady to get drenching wet sobbing after you like hold open the door for her once. It's a very specific scenario, but trust me, people like that exist. And again, I guess it's an inevitability, you know, it's kind of that thing like I don't know if any of you kiddos here are like intimately familiar with like the anti-vax movement. I mean, you must have heard of them, but like, yeah. Cause I always make a big stink, but you know. Well, like, at the beginning of it, like, there was indeed anti-vaccine movement, but it's kind of one of those things where it's like, it's inevitable you would have this like amount of people who would just, you know, not believe in vaccines. It's kind of like the probability of someone just turning up to be an absolute like psycho and murdering like 10 people over their lifetime. It's small, it's tiny, nobody wants it, nobody expects it, but like with such a big population and like the probability being so high, there's basically, well, it's going to happen, even if it's like a really tiny chance in a minority. It still doesn't change the fact that we have like what, 7 billion humans in the world. Even if only 1 out of 5 million like kiddos out there ended up being just absolutely, you know, like dead in the morality area, that's still a whole lot of people, man, you know. That's a ton, to say the least. Enough to stack up a whole body count, I guess, at that point. Oh, you know, the little like obstacles during Peach's skill counted as legit ones, but I guess they do. I don't know why I didn't expect them to. I guess something about them being a skill just puts a little view of like, well, they're not actually part of the original game background sort of thing over them, but you know, it's neither here nor there. And again, none of anything I say is really here or there or in the sky, so what would I know? But yeah, like I was saying at the start, there was this bunch of really small group of anti-vaxxers, you know, but they were just really small compared to the rest of the population. You're kind of just expecting them to be there, kind of like if you ignore the fact that with the spread of the internet, the flat earth theory just really exploded into a whole bunch of mildly gullible people's minds. If you really think about it, like, most people don't believe in the flat earth theory, you know, cause, well, that's just it. It's just a theory, it's not actually real or truthful. I'm sorry to say here, fellow flat earthers in the fellow? Wait a moment. Okay. Ignore that. A slip of the tongue there, if you will. But generally speaking, there was still a bunch of like flat earthers, even after pretty much everyone accepted that, you know, NASA isn't lying, that kind of thing. Like, why would anybody try to convince you that the world is round for just no particular reason at all, you know, like. But that contrivance aside though, yeah, they're the minority, but they exist cause, I mean, statistically speaking, they're bound to exist, you know. Even if it's a 0.01% chance, it's still a chance. And we've got 7 billion people going on to 8 billion by God knows whatever metric in the future. So it is what it is. I guess the one thing that's surprising about it is just that how the anti-vax movement just got so big. I mean, I wouldn't say it isn't exactly a surprise if you know how the media just jumped on the story, but like, it's also just a bit surprising that you know that you guys seriously have no ethics, man. Hello, just no ethics. Like, my god. I mean, nowadays when you think of anti-vax, you usually think of people who are like more on the, I would say, religious side, spiritual side, you know. And I don't mean anti-vaxxers as in people who are like skeptical of like vaccines or whatever. Like, I think it's pretty honest to you to like keep a skepticism, especially when it comes to medicine and that kind of things. Cause it's true, a lot of malpractice and bad things can happen a lot of time, and things can be sold improperly. You should take a good look. I'm talking about those people who are like, despite all the evidence, despite everything and all the casualties, they'll run around and they would, you know, painstakingly say and protest and say that like they would rather their child get infected by like what, malaria or something, and get a vaccination for it and get a completely made up diagnosis of autism, which is just so wrong. Ugh. Yeah, I feel like it says a lot that like, I know I'm just reinstating a point, but it's still so icky to me that people would rather their children die than be like autistic, you know. I'm sure that's not a common thing at all. That's really just more of a fringe thing among the anti-vaxxer society. But like, it doesn't mean it doesn't feel bad. Like, man, I myself, I'm lucky that like, in terms of discrimination, oh shit, oh this is just sad now. But I'm not autistic, but like, I have a sibling who is, and I mean, it reminds me of this one time. I think a few years back when she went out, I think, to do something, and then she was nearby, and there was this bunch of like, I think a group of like kiddos, and they were just talking about like autistic people and making fun of them. And sure, they weren't specifically making fun of her. They were making fun of more like those who have been seriously impacted by autism, like on the super far end of the autism spectrum, the sort that like can't care for themselves, but it's still bad, you know. Kind of like, if it's hard to imagine, it's just draw a comparison. It'll probably be like being a person who, you know, genetically speaking, is more predisposed to cancer, and hearing from your doctor that you're probably gonna get cancer sometime in like the coming years, and then you go outside and then you hear a bunch of just really bad, really rowdy type of kiddos, these punks, just making fun of people who have stage 4 cancer for being too weak or something, and making just fun of them for having to seek such medical attention because they're in stage 4 cancer. I mean, I know it's not exact like comparison, but just bad. The fact that I have to draw a comparison to cancer too is a bit unfortunate, I guess, you know. Like, why do we see certain illnesses as so different from the others? Like, I mean, myopia is something that's just super widespread. We basically see it as normal when in fact it can be extremely debilitating without like glasses. You can't see, you can't do things properly without your glasses. But I mean, we as a society have accepted it, so we just see it as normal. Well, like, if someone were to turn up in a wheelchair, like, you're probably gonna hear some jerk out there complain about it. But like, if you think about it in terms of glasses, it's a thing that helps with our disability. And I mean, you usually don't see people complaining about like the people around them that have to wear glasses or something. It's just so probably appalling is what I would like to call it, but I don't even know at this point. 1, 2, there we go. Oh my god, cookie game. I have become depressed playing this. The thoughts in my head have overridden my emotional control center. I'm kidding. Let's find something fun to play. None of you. Give me a destruction cookie, please. Not you either. Ah, why is it that I am going to get multiple? Alright, I'm just gonna pretend I didn't see the magnetic buff there. I'm gonna go with Dinosaur. He's a the dude, you see? It's a fancy dude. I love that kind of fashion, honestly. Good lord, I just have this absolute affinity. I won't say affinity, because that means I actually look good in it or something, but like, just this absolute insane sort of like love for things that they're unnecessary. Like myself, you know? I love trinkets, I love bells, I love little sculptures and art and things and yarn paintings and embroidery and silk and plush toys and dresses and umbrellas and all the things that you could never really, use practically, but like, it's so lovely to me. You know, the texture of it, even the way it looks. And again, maybe this habit or sort of curious seeking method of mine when it comes to these kind of things is already more indicative of my wider attitude towards stuff. Because rather than focusing on the more like important things like maybe ambition, careers, goal, purpose, meaning in life, I just love all these unnecessary things. Things that I really don't need for my survival, but I love them anyways, you know? And I guess that's just how affection goes. Okay? Never truly unconditional, but at the same time, never truly transactional as it is. That's how love works. Speaking of love, man, this game does not seem to have much for me. I'm very disappointed in you. I'm kidding, it's actually fine. This will make a good thumbnail. Content, kiddos. But like, you know, it ain't great. But I'm fine. I didn't actually spend any diamonds on this, so I'm good all in all. Even if my rank is 26, I still got a bunch of diamonds out of it. Anyways, oh, that was so dumb. Well, I guess don't listen to me, but let's thank our comrades here for running with us like always. And thank you to you too for watching all the way until here, if you're still here. So yeah, take care of yourself. Yeah, take care and love ya.